Biology Project Atmosphere Analysis of Planets. By R. S. Rohiat. Introduction. Namaste. In this project, we will analyze the atmospheres of all the planets in the Solar System, in other words, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, etc. We will compare these analyses with other planets and also learn about these planets and other celestial objects. Also, along with this analysis, we will learn some facts about some planets in our galaxy and even beyond that. So let's start our journey. Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in the Solar System and the closest to the Sun. Its orbit around the Sun takes 87.97 Earth days, the shortest of all the Sun's planets. It is named after the Roman god Mercurius, Mercury, god of commerce, messenger of the gods, and mediator between gods and mortals. Mercury's surface is similar in appearance to that of the Moon, showing extensive mare-like plains and heavy cratering, indicating that it has been geologically inactive for billions of years. Mercury appears to have a solid silicate crust and mantle overlying a solid, iron sulfide outer core layer, a deeper liquid core layer, and a solid inner core. The planet's density is the second highest in the Solar System at 5.427 grams per cc. Atmosphere of Mercury. Instead of a substantial atmosphere, Mercury possesses an ultra-thin, exosphere, made up of atoms blasted off its surface by solar radiation, the solar wind and micrometeoroid impacts. These quickly escape into space, forming a tail of particles, according to NASA. The atmosphere of Mercury is a surface-bound exosphere, essentially a vacuum. It contains 42% oxygen, 29% sodium, 22% hydrogen, 6% helium, 0.5% potassium, with possible trace amounts of argon, carbon dioxide, water, nitrogen, xenon, krypton and neon, according to NASA. Inside planet Mercury. The planet nearest the Sun has a diameter of 3,032 miles, 4,879 kilometers, about 2/5 of Earth's diameter. Mercury has a spin-object resonance, rotating 3 times for every 2 revolutions around the Sun. A day on Mercury lasts about 59 Earth days. Thin atmosphere, extremely small amount of helium, hydrogen, oxygen and sodium. Gravity 0.38 of Earth. Surface conditions. Air pressure, none. Temperature 840 degrees Fahrenheit, 450 degrees Celsius. Wind, none. Metal core. The planet's liquid iron core makes up about 3/4 of its radius. Venus. Venus is the second planet from the Sun. It is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Venus orbits the Sun every 224.7 Earth days. It has a synodic day length of 117 Earth days and a sidereal rotation period of 243 Earth days. Venus is a terrestrial planet and is sometimes called Earth's sister planet, because of their similar size, mass, proximity to the Sun, and bulk composition. It has the densest atmosphere of the 4 terrestrial planets, consisting of more than 96% carbon dioxide. Venus was the first planet to have its motions plotted across the sky, as early as the 2nd millennium BC. Atmosphere of Venus. The atmosphere of Venus is composed of 96.5% carbon dioxide, 3.5% nitrogen, and traces of other gases, most notably sulfur dioxide. The amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere is relatively small compared to the amount of carbon dioxide, but because the atmosphere is so much thicker than that on Earth, its total nitrogen content is roughly 4 times higher than Earth's, even though on Earth nitrogen makes up about 78% of the atmosphere. Earth. Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun and the only astronomical object known to harbor and support life. 29.2% of Earth's surface is land consisting of continents and islands. The remaining 70.8% is covered with water, mostly by oceans, seas, gulfs, and other salt water bodies, but also by lakes, rivers, and other freshwater, which together constitute the hydrosphere. Much of Earth's polar regions is covered in ice. Earth orbits around the Sun in about 365.25 days. Earth is the densest planet in the Solar System and the largest and most massive of the 4 rocky planets. Atmosphere of Earth. The atmosphere of Earth consists of 78% nitrogen, N2, 21% oxygen, O2, and 1% argon, Ar, with traces of water vapor, H2O, carbon dioxide, CO2, and other gases. Variable amounts of dust particles and water droplets are also found suspended in the air. The total mass of Earth's atmosphere is about 5 × 10^18 kilograms. Mars. Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun and the 2nd smallest planet in the Solar System, being larger than only Mercury. Mars carries the name of the Roman god of war and is often referred to as the Red Planet. The latter refers to the effect of the iron oxide prevalent on Mars's surface, which gives it a reddish appearance. Mars is a terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere, with surface features reminiscent of the impact craters of the Moon, and the valleys, deserts and polar ice caps of Earth. Atmosphere of Mars. Mars' atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and it has traces of oxygen, carbon monoxide, water, methane, and other gases, along with a lot of dust. Mars has no ozone layer in its atmosphere. This means ultraviolet radiation from the Sun and astronomical sources reaches the surface unhindered. This radiation is harmful for any exposed organic compounds. The lack of an ozone layer also means that the Martian atmosphere has no warm layer. Jupiter. Jupiter is the 5th planet from the Sun and the largest in the Solar System. It is a gas giant with a mass more than 2.5 times that of all the other planets in the Solar System combined. Jupiter is the 3rd brightest natural object in the Earth's night sky after the Moon and Venus. It is named after the Roman god Jupiter, the king of the gods, because of its observed size. Atmosphere of Jupiter. Jupiter is made up predominantly of hydrogen. The simple, basic gas, a prime ingredient on the Sun, accounts for 90% of the atmosphere and nearly 10% is composed of helium. A very small fraction of the atmosphere is made up of compounds such as ammonia, sulfur, methane, and water vapor. The atmosphere of Jupiter essentially makes up the entire planet that the gas giant has no firm surface to touch down on. The atmosphere shows a wide range of active phenomena, including band instabilities, vortices, storms and lightning. Saturn. Saturn is the 6th sun and the 2nd largest in the Solar System. Saturn is named after the Roman god of wealth and agriculture. At least 83 moons are known to orbit Saturn, of which 53 are officially named. The planet's most famous feature is its prominent ring system, which is composed mostly of ice particles, with a smaller amount of rocky debris and dust. Titan, Saturn's largest moon and the 2nd largest in the Solar System, is larger than the planet Mercury, although less massive, and is the only moon in the Solar System to have a substantial atmosphere. Atmosphere of Saturn. The outer atmosphere of Saturn contains 96.3% molecular hydrogen and 3.25% helium by volume. Trace amounts of ammonia, acetylene, ethane, propane, phosphine, and methane have been detected in Saturn's atmosphere. Saturn's atmosphere exhibits a banded pattern similar to Jupiter's, but Saturn's bands are much fainter and are much wider near the equator. Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun. Its name is a reference to the Greek god of the sky, Uranus. Uranus is similar in composition to Neptune, and both have bulk chemical compositions which differ from that of the larger gas giants Jupiter and Saturn. For this reason, scientists often classify Uranus and Neptune as ice giants, to distinguish them from the other giant planets. Uranus has a ring system, a magnetosphere, and numerous moons. Atmosphere of Uranus. The atmosphere of Uranus is composed primarily of hydrogen and helium. At depth it is significantly enriched in volatiles, dubbed ices, such as water, ammonia and methane. The opposite is true for the upper atmosphere, which contains very few gases heavier than hydrogen and helium due to its low temperature. Uranus's atmosphere is the coldest of all the planets, with its temperature reaching as low as 49 K. Neptune. Neptune is the eighth and farthest known solar planet from the Sun. In the Solar System, it is the fourth largest planet by diameter, the third most massive planet, and the densest giant planet. The planet orbits the Sun once every 164.8 years. It is named after the Roman god of the sea. Neptune has a faint and fragmented ring system, which was discovered in 1984, then later confirmed by Voyager 2. Atmosphere of Neptune. Like Jupiter and Saturn, Neptune's atmosphere is composed primarily of hydrogen and helium, along with traces of hydrocarbons and possibly nitrogen, though it contains a higher proportion of ices, such as water, ammonia and methane. However, similar to Uranus, its interior is primarily composed of ices and rock. Uranus and Neptune are normally considered ice giants to emphasize this distinction. Traces of methane in the outermost regions in part account for the planet's blue appearance. In contrast to the hazy, relatively featureless atmosphere of Uranus, Neptune's atmosphere has active and visible weather patterns. Neptune. Neptune has a bright blue color. Due to the great distance from the Sun, this planet is not bright enough to be seen with the naked eye. The planet Neptune is the fourth largest planet, the third most massive and the densest planet in our solar system. The planet has an extreme climate. The winds on Neptune are the most powerful in the entire solar system. The planet Neptune is named after the Roman god of the sea. Proxima Centauri. Proxima Centauri is a small, low-mass star located 4.2465 light-years away from the Sun in the southern constellation of Centaurus. Its Latin name means the nearest star of Centaurus. It was discovered in 1915 by Robert Innes and is the nearest known star to the Sun. Proxima Centauri has two confirmed exoplanets, Proxima Centauri b and Proxima Centauri c. Proxima Centauri is 500 times less bright than our Sun. Proxima is located in the direction of Centaurus, a constellation that's spotted from Earth's southern hemisphere.